The Tomorrow People, episode 7, Limbo. It was a pretty good episode. It had a lot of interesting moments in it. One of the biggest things is that Kara does reveal that she and Stefan slept together. And I didn't expect it to be the way it was. She was very blunt about it, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more for that. And it led to some fairly interesting stuff between John and Steven, if his name is John. I believe it's John. Yeah, John. I love that scene when he was messing with him during basketball, and then they flat out have a fight. And how John was in that scene, I really enjoyed because John is normally like the stoic character of the show. He's very calm, calculating. We stick to these rules. We do this or we don't do that. And in this, he's mad and stuff, and he's like the like creepy type of mad where he's like laughing and stuff, but it's like he's super pissed, but he's just like laughing and things like that. And it was like this is like a completely different character because he's kind of in a way torturing Steven, but he's just like kind of lost it a little bit, and he's just cracking up and stuff. But it was a really good scene, and like they have an actual fight, and he doesn't use his powers on Steven. They just fight each other, so it was pretty cool. And they talk more about Steven and Kara's like connection, whatever it may be. It's sort of a just a weird connection that they happen to have. And we also get a connection. Astrid, they flat out just admit that Astrid has feelings for Steven. And while it was fairly obvious that they were like the friends and stuff, I figured that they would eventually it would come to that. But it was more like she does have feelings for him, but he has feelings for Kara. So it's like a love line, I guess, not really love triangle. But she has feelings for him, and he reads her mind and figures that out. And she's like kind of upset with that because he's like he likes Car, and then he's sleeping with or like making out with the one random girl who's like a slut at his party. But she has feelings for him, and she doesn't say it because that's just how life is. People don't say that all the time because they're shy about it or whatever. But it was pretty cool to get that scene, and we kind of have to see how things are going to work between them because it seemed like things were going to be great this episode where he's showing her all his powers and stuff, and they were kind of just back to being best friends. And then this happens, and it seems like now it's just going to go right back to her kind of being distant from him because even though before it was because he was hiding his powers once he couldn't actually show her in the first episode, I think. But instead this time it'll be because he knows how she feels, but he doesn't feel the same way about her, so it'll kind of distance them because of that. But it was still a really good episode. Steven obviously didn't have his powers the entire episode. I think probably halfway through, I guess, no powers, but he does manage to track down the guy that they're looking for in this episode, who is using his abilities to rape women. And Steven tracks him down, and he almost dies. And during that scene, he finds his father, or at least he kind of has a vision or whatever you want to call it. And his dad says, Xanatos, I believe. So who knows what that was, and we'll have to figure out how things are really going to play out with him. If that means anything. I'm sure it'll mean something to somebody, if not to the Tomorrow People, then to his uncle, I'm sure, or maybe even his mom, which I think would be really nice if it sort of brought his mom back into the show a little bit more, and just as more of a character because she isn't in it too much. But it would be cool if that meant something to her, and that's how we got more story out of it. But sorry, I'm sick right now. But great episode. Excited for the next one. The Tomorrow People apparently kidnapped Jedekiah, so I'm really excited to see how that plays out. But I love this episode. I thought it was really good. Great. It had a great comedy start to it, but then it got a lot more serious. Like the first half was comedy, second half was a lot more dramatic, where Steven doesn't have his powers, so that kind of leads to a lot of different moments. But overall, great episode. And John and Kara, they are together, but I don't know. It might not completely work out. I mean, John seemed kind of okay with it. He even made the joke like, technically at this point we both made out with Steven and stuff like that. So it was funny, and he was kind of lighthearted about it by the end of the episode. But they do. Steven and Kara do have a connection, so things might not exactly work out between John and Kara. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But Comment below. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and where do you guys think the show's gonna go now? I mean, Astrid's feelings have basically been outed. John, he knows how Steven feels about Kara. He knows how, he knows about their connection, and Steven knows as well because Astrid even says, like, even though Kara said she doesn't love you, it doesn't take a mind reader to figure that out. So Steven knows as well. So where do you guys think things are gonna go as far as just all the characters being together as a unit? Do you think it'll work, or do you think it'll just crumble and they'll kind of go the separate ways, which I doubt. But comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.